to about reading Robert's Rules 12th edition, right? It's okay. Make sure you know how to call the vote. Teresa will help, and I'll help. I don't know if you've done this. You did okay. I told him when we were walking in. You did okay when he was gone. I just wanted to make sure that you were good with it. But,
Yep.
It's up to you if you want me to keep going or not, so. We're gonna do an amendment on number 3 too.
Number 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dan, happy with it. Perfect.
I might, maybe I might read it.
Well, and then number 14, I have to keep Lorain County Beautiful on there. I gave you the right.
Wait, number 14, what?
Yeah,
No, that's 911.
I'm sorry, 15. You got the right resolution, but it's not on the agenda. Keep Lorain County Beautiful, the president sits on that part.
Stick them on the way out.
Is Michelle here?
She is.
Yeah, she's here.
Does she wanna work, or she gonna show up today or not?
You want me to get her? I'll go find out.
Yeah, go get her. Or does she wanna wait until,
Yeah, I'll go find out.
She's right
oh,
there.
there she is.
Okay. Just come and sign this. I got you. You're usually not the last one.
Cell phone's turned off. Cell phone's turned off. Phones are off.
Sorry, Mr. President.
No worries. Like Dan says, you're usually here, so. First. You settled in?
He's off.
Pretty quiet.
I don't know how to use the other buttons, so I just use airplane mode.
Wow, you got a snort out of that one. Okay.
Sorry, that can't make my brain.
Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie.
Good morning. It's Monday, January 8th, 2024. It's 9:30. This is the Lorain County Commissioners organizational meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Moore,
I am here.
Commissioner Riddell,
Here.
Commissioner Hung.
Here.
We have a quorum. Under resolutions, number 1, elect the president of the board for the year 2024.
Move to nominate Jeff Riddell.
Second.
Discussions?
No discussion.
Okay.
I think we're there.
This is where I abdicate.
No. Nope.
Nominations are closed. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 2, elect the vice president of the board.
This is where I take over, boss?
Well, no, she's talking about electing the vice president now.
Okay.
I mean, unless you'd like to take
You
over.
want to take over and say something?
No?
Okay.
Okay, number 2, elect the vice president of the board for the year 2024.
I nominate David Moore.
Second.
Any discussion? Nominations are closed. Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Okay.
No.
Number 3, adopt Robert Rules 12th edition as parliamentary procedures to be followed at all board meetings during 2024.
Okay, since I can say this now, Mr. President, I'd like to make an amendment to number 3 and have her reread it, or I may also read it. Okay? Is that fine?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm going to do is, I'd prefer to have this motion read, adopt Robert Rules 12th edition as a parliamentary procedures, and also the rules of conduct that has been previously circulated in regards to public comments and public behavior during our meetings. to be followed at all board meetings during the 2024 year. That would be my motion.
Second?
Any further discussion?
Yes, would that be the amendment that was just recently written?
It would be a motion to amend number 3.
Yeah, but
Yes.
there was an amendment to the public rules of comment that was
Correct.
recently written. So is that going to be enforced, and that is the document not
Correct.
subject to revision at anybody's whim?
That's what we're discussing, and that's what we're passing today. Not the whim part.
Yes, whatever yes, it could be subject to revision by the board, right?
Correct.
But I would say once it's adopted, then it will require board action to further amend it.
So further amendments will require board approval, is what you're saying, Dan?
I would think that would be the best way to operate, yeah.
From what I understand, when I asked the clerk about this last week, she said it's been revised 3 times. Was that correct, Madam Clerk? Okay, so we are going with the revision as it sits today, and if it is to be amended, it will come before the board again.
That is the open debate between the prosecutor's office and us, whether or not you need to amend it. So to make
me explain where
to
I'm
make
at.
you happy, we decided to add it. How's that,
You
Dave?
make the rules, so that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, in
Yes.
my opinion, there's certain plenary authority the board has to maintain the order of the meetings, okay? I think the best way to do this, my advice has been the best way to do this is through board action, okay? So you put out written rules through board action, adopt it, and then that's what we operate by. If there's a reason to change it, then the board should vote to change it once we adopt it. That's my feeling about what the best,
I think it is I think that would be appropriate. So
And for those that are interested in this, when we started the rules for the open meeting and went to 2 times of open comment, one on the agenda and one on subjects in general, we indicated at that time that it was a work in process, and we have made a couple of alterations, but we have never had to change the spirit of the document. And to get ready for today, I was reviewing the open meeting law requirements for the state of Ohio, and our current guidelines are well within the guidelines, especially since in the state of Ohio, you're not required to have any public comment time, but President Moore saw fit to go from 1 comment time to 2, and I will support staying that way for the year 2024. But the guidelines are available, and do we have them on the website yet?
I doubt it.
I don't think so, but we can.
Well, we just voted on it, so.
Well, we didn't vote yet. Mr. Assistant Prosecutor added an additional question. So if that's what we're doing here, then they will be attached to this resolution for
Should be.
historical purposes, and it will be in Teresa's office
yes.
with her paperwork?
You're the one that keeps,
Yeah.
I'm looking at
So
Teresa.
that
You
way,
keep
if it changes by, for some reason unknown to the board, that somebody changes it, then
Yes.
Teresa will have the way it's supposed to be.
Which is why I think best practice is to have a document, right? And we know that on January 8th, the board passed this. And if the board determines that it's unworkable or that it needs to tweak it, then we should come back and revisit it. That's my opinion.
Okay, my next question is, has it changed since the last time I saw it? Because I'm just finding out about this right now.
I don't know how many times it's changed. I did not see what's being voted on today. I saw something in
Right.
December,
That's the one it is. That's the last one.
but I don't have it in front of me right now. I didn't realize that there had been more drafts from the one that was provided to
So
me.
I guess the
We
question
need to
is,
go see this.
yeah,
See the-
whatever the last change was, I guess I'm asking my colleagues, has it changed since the last change?
No.
I lost the clerk.
Well, it's her birthday. She's allowed today.
That's the one person we need, so.
It hasn't changed since the last change, then I've seen it, but I just wanted to make sure, I wasn't being surprised with the change this morning and asked to vote on something.
Yeah, I didn't know that it had changed, so.
Again, that was a debate I had today with him, whether or not we should or should not.
This is revised 11:30.
Yeah. And
Okay,
so
so
my
this was
debate
the
with
last
Dan
change.
was that I let him win on that one.
I've seen it.
That's what they agree on, yes.
The major difference in the format, for those again that are listening and care, was that there, in the sign-up sheet that's presented to the board to speak, it also has a place, I have read and understand the rules of conduct. So we included that in the sign-up so that, like in many other cases, at least we get an attestment that says that, you know, that they understand the rules. So, and then they get to keep the sheet that is the rules and turn in the sheet that's the request.
I saw that.
So that really wasn't a
Where does
content
it say
change, that was just a
11:30
format change,
here?
but.
It says it on this page,
Okay.
on that page there.
On this page. Should be on this page too.
I hate hearing, I didn't know.
Okay, so, Mr. President and Vice President, we are agreeing on guidelines that the last revision was 11:30. So
Right.
everybody is in agreement on that. Just want to make sure
Correct.
we all are. Okay?
And Karen, can we affect that on the website for those that want to attend meetings?
Absolutely.
So they can do their homework before they come?
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes. Do we vote on the amendment and then actually
That was
passing it?
the vote to amend.
That was the vote to
Right.
Now the motion, she knows, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Sorry, Teresa.
no, that's
I
okay.
jumped the gun there on you.
Every time you do that, Michelle, Teresa looks at me like I'm an idiot.
Now,
Enough of, thank you very much.
So we voted
Is-
to amend to include that.
correct,
Yeah,
now
we'll
is there a
vote.
motion to adopt this amendment?
Motion to adopt.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 4, investments.
We have one page today. These are the places that our treasurer places the money to ensure that we get some return on our investment while we wait to use it to pay bills. Make a motion to approve the investments?
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 5, appropriations.
Okay, and on the appropriations, you will notice that the line item number 1, the big one, is the appropriation of the funding for the resolution for the new radio communication system. And then the other large one, line 7, from before the holidays, is to get going on the county jail by engaging the architect to do the first steps necessary to take a complete concept to the taxpayers. Make a motion to approve the appropriations.
Second.
Further discussion?
Yes. Casey, number 7, is that coming out of the $20 million that was set aside for the jail?
You are correct.
Okay, I
Yes.
just want to make sure it's coming out of the appropriate.
Yep, that's what it's out of, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I had a question. Mr. President?
Yes.
Casey, on the $20 million set aside, I know we've had discussions about the carryover. So when you speak about the $20 million set aside, that's not included in the carryover. That is a separate fund, correct?
That is held outside the general fund in a Q construction fund. So
Okay.
correct, that's outside of the general fund.
I just wanted to
carryover.
make sure the public understood that that's a separate set aside. And Madam Clerk, I will be voting no on item line number 1.
Anything further? Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes, with the no on number 1.
Number 6, transfers.
And we only have the one item. I move to accept the transfers.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 7, advances repayments. There were none. Number 8, requisitions.
And we have 13 pages today. Kind of looks like we weren't here for a couple of weeks, doesn't it?
Well, there's going to be, what we're going to do usually I don't know how, are we gonna approve, like review each page? Because that's kind of how I did it. I don't know how you want to do it. But there's some, I want to make some exceptions and ask for some tabling of some expenses as we move forward. So what's the board's wishes? Like, for example, number 18, I need more information in regards to using general fund money to pay for educational expenses. And I think I talked to KC, and he's still digging on that with the Board of Elections on whether or not that should come out of the general fund or out of another account that they may have. So I was going to ask the table number 18 and on that one. Other than that, I've already reviewed everything else, so.
That's a separate motion, I would second that motion.
Well, no, I'm not making a motion yet. I'm just saying, as we move forward, I'm going, basically, if we're going to make a motion, I'm probably going to recommend that when we're done. Instead of, I think we should go through all 13 pages and discuss it as we move forward. And then if all three of us, if we have issues with any of these numbers, we'll bring it up. I think that'd be a little bit easier to deal with as we move forward. So like page 1 of 13, I think we should table number 18 when we get ready to make the motion. So, because unless, birthday girl, what's easier for you? Would you like us to maybe approve each page as a motion? Okay, see.
I don't think
okay.
you can. We talked
Okay.
about this last year.
Right.
I think
That would require 13 votes. And
I know.
13
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to make,
Absolutely.
okay, well, Mary, there you go. I didn't have to buy you a
One in
gift.
that.
Okay, there you go.
Well,
Okay,
Mr. President,
yeah, okay. Oh,
Mr. President, and usually in the past, I think we've received an email with an explanation on this, so
Yeah.
tabling may be a good idea, just awaiting Director Adams'
Right.
email with an explanation.
right. Okay.
Okay,
Let me see. This is page 1.
can we have
Let's
page
see.
2?
I'm good.
Okay, can we have page 3?
Okay, let me see here.
Let's see. Under the commissioner's expenses, you'll notice that there's membership dues for the CCAO and the National Association of Counties, both of which we participate as an item. I attended all 3 of those conferences this year and found them invaluable. Page 4.
And number 59, I guess I talked to KC. That's in regards to the dog pound, which I'm surprised we didn't. I would like to have seen something professional legal services / maybe dog kennel or something. Probably would have made it life easier.
We can make that adjustment moving forward when we see those. Those
Yeah.
are the fairly regular invoices we
Right.
see, so.
Okay. So if you see like the word, you'll see the fund 1,000, that means that's our general fund, and the rest of these funds are all through special revenue, other revenue funds that other departments are using, so. I'm good.
Okay, on page 4, you'll also notice at the bottom,
All right.
under the engineer's budget.
Oh.
Fuel, 725,000. Don't be shocked, that's not just the fuel for the engineering department, that's for the sheriff's department and all other county-owned vehicles. And then the road salt, which we haven't had to use this year so far, so let's hope that we don't have to see that one again. Page 5. Okay, no other concerns, page 6. Okay. Page 7. number 120, Casey, in the future, can we get a little bit more description in indirect costs?
Sure.
It kind of sounds like miscellaneous expenses, and 133,000 is not miscellaneous.
So I'd be happy to kind of give a little more information on that. We have a consultant who does a study for us every year that takes a look at some of the costs of the services provided by the general fund to these special revenue funds. And so these are costs that run 2 years in arrears. And so they are essentially costs for building space, could be IT services, various services provided by the general fund. So this is a way to call back some of those expenses that are given to some of the special revenue funds.
So is there not a professional services account for jobs and family services?
Well, that's indirect cost. There's a specific, very specific account line that's paid from
Okay.
for those guys. Yeah, so you said miscellaneous.
Well, no, indirect cost sounds like miscellaneous costs. It sounds like, you know.
That's the internal, I guess, language that we've used historically for those to recoup those costs.
Okay.
So we can look into.
As we meet with JFS on their budget, we should take a look at that.
Sure.
Obviously, you said they're 2 years in arrears, so we've already gotten the services, we better pay for the bill.
You got it.
Page 8. Page 9. KC 159 through 163, actually through 165, are those requisitions out of their current budget? These are not additional funds they're requesting, correct?
That's correct. That comes out of their current requested budget, correct? For their 2024 budget, not additional funds.
Have to make a note to address those when we meet with the health department as well. The sanitary engineer falls under that, correct?
No, sanitary engineer, the commissioners essentially have assigned the engineer, the county engineer, as the county's sanitary engineer.
Okay, could you explain the $100,000 salary reimbursement?
So,
You dropped
again,
the pass.
Bob can certainly step in and correct me if I'm wrong, but so that is essentially county engineer employees are used to do sanitary engineer tasks. So this is essentially the engineer billing the sanitary engineer budget for time spent by his employees to accomplish those goals, those sanitary engineer goals.
So that comes out of the general fund expenditure?
No,
It still comes out of the,
Sanitary.
this comes out of the sanitary engineer budget, the 7,100 sanitary engineer budget. And that goes back to the engineer, motor vehicle gas tax budget. Those employees are being paid for out of the engineer's budget. And then when they are doing tasks that are sanitary engineer related, there's a reimbursement process from the sanitary engineer budget to the engineer budget.
thank you. Why the sanitary engineer continues on page 10. It's a busy holiday. Okay, Bob, can you address 180? Village of LaGrange? Is that within your wheelhouse?
Yeah, with the Pheasant Run facility, the waste is pumped to LaGrange, so we bill for the sewage usage, and then we reimburse then the Village of LaGrange for those services. And also, like, when people tap into the sewer, we collect a tap-in fee that goes to the Village of LaGrange.
Okay. Page 11. Page 12. And page 13. Any questions on pages 1 through 13? Make a motion to
What-
accept.
I did have a question, but I don't know how, I'm looking at KC in regards to item number 234. I mean, basically what we're doing is workforce development. We kind of advance a lot of money to workforce, and then they get their money back from, the state and the feds, and we get reimbursed pretty much.
Correct, for the employee
Salaries,
personnel costs,
correct.
yes. The general fund pays all the personnel costs, salary, PRS,
Right.
hospitalization of the workforce employees, and then as that funding comes in, the general fund is reimbursed fully, 100%.
My
for
concern
the
is
personnel.
prepaid cards are the easiest thing that can be abused. Do you know if there's any auditing being done? Because I figured it out. You divide it out by the people they help, which is roughly under 500 people a year that they always had. That's kind of what I was told, which is roughly about $500 a card for something, a card, and which is based on gas prices. Hell, by the end of the year, it might be a tank of gas. Who knows?
Sure.
But I'm just wondering when I see that, and there's some businesses in the past I used to work or run, in which the biggest thing going on is buying and selling these prepaid cards. So how do we know they're being used properly, and what kind of accounting is being done to ensure that these are not just being handed out as
Certainly. So, yeah, so I wouldn't feel comfortable laying out their audit process. I would want to speak with them to get the details of the audit process. This is me taking a large leap. Being that these are federal funds, I would imagine there is a fairly
system in place,
stringent
right?
audit process in place. I just wouldn't feel comfortable trying to explain what their audit process.
No, that's
may
okay.
be.
I just think that's $250,000
Yeah.
$1 going out in
Sure,
prepaid.
that's certainly something that we can speak with Director Longo about.
If you could, I'd appreciate it. At least I like to see what because when you're dealing with federal dollars, like you said, that's a whole nother game.
President?
Mm-hmm.
Since you're asking the question, Casey, can you ask them if there are any requirements on where they purchase their gas? Or if it's a particular station that they have to purchase their gas from?
Yeah, and who's getting the points?
Yeah.
I got Speedway points, not that many.
Curious to know that, what type of, what type of guardrails are on that? That's
Yeah.
a very good question.
I might be able to answer that because it's
yeah.
purchased from Speedway. It would be at a Speedway site. It won't be, you can't use another gift card or another card in any other of the stations.
But do you know they're from Speedway
It
Administration?
says Speedway.
Yeah,
It says
so.
Investment LLC doing business as Speedway Prepaid Card LLC.
Okay.
Yeah, like 22 years
So
ago, I
you
made a
could
big
buy it
stink
from-
about this,
you
where they
could
were
be
using.
in Colorado
BP,
or
remember that?
California
Wonder why we
by
couldn't
use
issue-
Speedway cards.
Wonder why we couldn't issue debit cards and let them patronize other stations.
Debit cards could be used for anything. So I had this argument 20-some years ago with Job and Family Services, where they were using, I think now with, I would say not county-friendly businesses, gas stations that we were purchasing, and we kind of got away from having everybody having their own cards, and there must have been a dozen different companies. So we were kind of trying to get everything organized. That was 20-some years ago. I have nothing negative to say about Speedway or Marathon or any other company, but my concern was the books, like the auditing, to ensure that who is getting it, is it being spent properly, and hopefully, I'm sure just an email might be able to answer the question. So
Thanks, Casey.
I like the commissioner's term guardrails. When those gas cards are issued in the name of a company like that, can they be used for other items out of the convenience store, or they can only be used for gasoline?
They can be.
Not an expert, I believe they would be able to use those for any goods from
Yeah.
the convenience store,
Right.
in addition to just gas.
Certainly worth the conversation, thank you.
yeah, find out.
Sure.
Yeah, find out who gets the points.
I wanna know who's getting the ho-hos.
Yeah.
Who's getting their 20 cents off their soda?
Okay. Well,
Motion to accept pages 1 through 14? Or do you have further questions?
yeah, I would like to table number 18 somehow. If you could amend your motion to say
If the
table number 18.
I would, if the board wants to approve the requisitions except for 18, then I would offer that it's a motion to amend the requisitions to table number 18 and approve, and otherwise approve. That's what I would say.
Was there a second one, Commissioner, that you wanted to address?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Now then, I would make the motion that we make a motion to approve pages 1 through 14 with the
13.
exception of item 8,
1 through 13.
18.
or 1 through 13, excuse me.
18.
Well, tabling 18.
Tabling 18.
That's the face I'm talking about, Teresa.
Okay.
Yep, and I will second that.
Anything further? Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
I
Commissioner Hunt.
I will vote yes with the exception of number 61, which I'll be voting no on.
Number 9, travel.
Here we have one page of travel expenses. As a brief illumination, you'll notice that John Gall has been attending NOACA meetings. Unfortunately, NOACA loves to have Friday morning meetings. So do the commissioners of Lorain County, so I've been unable to attend some of the meetings at NOACA. And John has very capably filled in on that regard, and so you'll see his travel expenses probably continue as long as NOACA likes Friday morning meetings.
Okay, well, I have a problem with number 5, 6, and 7. Back in the day, it used to be called a credit card. Now I guess we just have lines of credit of $5,000 each. So I'd prefer that if we do spend money that need to be reimbursed, that it comes before us as travel, as a reimbursement, or as an ask, instead of having open-ended lines of credit, or whatever you want to call it, of $5,000 for each commissioner. I've never done it in 3 years, and I thought, well, maybe now's the time to say
I would support that in the interest of what we've been trying to do for the last year, and in the budget conversations that are coming in front of us. I think accountability starts with the commissioners, and I also agree that we should bring the appropriate expenses so that everybody can be assured that the commissioners are not doing something that they won't let other people do.
Is there something wrong?
He just said that it says various meetings, events, conferences throughout 2023, so that should say 2024.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Victor.
Victor came in for those. with wisdom, words of wisdom from Victor. So
I don't, Mr. President, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Casey, do you have a running tab on what the commissioner spent last year on travel? I don't see where we really did spend a lot.
Right.
Commissioner
I mean,
Riddell
that-
did
that can easily-
share what he
that can
traveled.
easily be found, but I don't have that.
I think we've kept the expenses pretty low.
all right.
Can I, not to make this more complicated than necessary, I think one thing I want to make sure, and it doesn't require board action, but I want to make sure that you're aware. I think the intent of the $5,000 limit is so that each commissioner can make a decision about what travel they do independent of the board, right? So I want to make sure that you guys are aware that even if you vote to approve individual expenditures, each of you is likely going to have independent authority to travel and spend that money up to the $5,000 cap. Does that make sense?
Right.
So it would still come across, you can see it as it happens, right, rather than what you're doing, but you're still gonna have that authority to spend the $5,000.
No, it never comes back up, does it, Casey? That was my
It's
concern.
Essentially, the
Once
way
you-
this would work, it would essentially open a $5,000 purchase order for any travel expenses, reimbursements, things like that. So
It never comes back before the board again. So
Yeah, so why don't we table 5, 6, and 7 and talk to Casey in between now and the next meeting and see if there isn't a process we can put in place so that, you know, we're spending the money and people can see some kind of a process so that we're not paying for unnecessary food or beverages or.
I think the short answer is that I think it would, I mean, much like the rest of these,
correct.
these lines on here, they would just come on an as-needed basis, they would come across as, as a travel request or reimbursement request on an as-needed basis, yeah.
I know when I went to the meetings, I was given a voucher, I don't know the back room process for that, but I was given a voucher that paid for the tuition for the annual meetings and stuff for CCAO.
Correct, so when something like that would come up, my purchasing department or John or whoever would submit a travel request or reimbursement request ahead of time, and it would show up on either this form or the requisition form, and it would be approved through that process, so, yeah, I mean, that's an easy process to implement.
I would make a motion to approve the travel expenses with the exception of line item 5, 6, and 7.
Second.
We tabling, right, Dan?
Correct.
Anything further? Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Number 10, bills.
We have none, it says
Oh,
here.
I'm sorry. Yes, we don't have any. Ooh. Number 11, commissioners may recess an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official.
Yes, and I believe we'll have an executive session today.
Yeah. We have no public comment today, it looks like.
I don't have any
Yeah,
forms.
okay.
No public comment. Is there any old business?
No.
Board business, number 12, approve and waive the reading of the county commissioners meeting minutes of December 12th, 15th, and 20th of 2023.
Move to waive. I mean, sorry. Move to approve.
Waive.
Sorry. I saw a wave there, move, approve and waive,
It was a
so,
long vacation, wasn't it?
yeah, not long enough.
Move to approve the waiving of
There you
the
go.
board correspondence.
I'll second that.
No.
Texting, you're not.
We are approving and waiving the reading of the county commissioners meetings minutes of December 12th, 15th, and 20th.
Yeah, so we're moving to approve the minutes, which I made a motion to approve, how's that? Need a second.
Second.
Wow, okay.
Any discussion? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 13, setting Lorain County Board of Commissioner meeting minutes to a biweekly schedule starting Tuesday, January 16th of 2024 at 5 p.m., and then Friday, January 19th, 2024 at 9:30, and then the opposite Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. for Commissioners' public hearings when necessary.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, have you counted this out? Because the week of July 4th is also a week that we will be, whether or not we'll be having a meeting.
No.
Okay, so you haven't Okay, so we haven't gone that far yet. Is it okay that we could still amend this down the road? Okay. Okay.
Also, probably a good time to note that the deadline for the January 16 meeting to get on the agenda will be that Friday, because Monday is Martin Luther King, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, but Friday, the agenda will go out.
Right, that's what he's saying,
So-
yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. The deadline's usually 24 hours before, but seeing as that's a holiday, it'll be Friday, correct?
She tries to get out earlier than that. But
No, the deadline is tomorrow. So you guys can review.
No, not tomorrow. Items to be on the agenda by this Friday, to be on for next Tuesday.
Correct,
Yeah.
and then the agenda will go out on Friday.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you still like the agenda on Friday for the Tuesday meeting instead of Monday?
It's a week ahead. Teresa wants agenda items a week ahead of the meeting. So this Friday, she's saying, unless you bribe her, she's cutting the agenda off. And then it will go out next Friday. Correct?
No. Guys, look you have to have the agenda done 24 hours. It has to go out to the media
Correct.
24 hours ahead of time.
Monday we were off.
Correct. That's what, everyone's saying the same thing, okay?
Yes. Yes.
So the bottom line is, to get anything on the agenda, you got to have it in by Thursday night. How's that? That way you're not stressed out at 8 a.m. on
You
Friday.
have to get the agenda items from County Board of Departments by
Right.
me tomorrow at
Oh.
the latest.
Oh, okay. Oh, from the departments.
Yes. County commissioners.
Us
have
commissioners can
different-
do, yeah, that's,
Yes.
Commissioners can do their
But
thing.
yeah.
all the departments already know, the agenda's already kind of set, unless
Okay.
there's anything else
Okay.
coming from you guys.
See, we're all talking about the same thing, just different levels. So, I
Motion to approve the calendar?
think we already did.
We did. Commissioner
did.
Riddell.
Now you can vote.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Okay. Number 14, appoint Commissioner Riddell as 911 Review Board Chairman for 2024 members, or,
I'd move to table.
okay,
Number 14, we need more legal research in regards to the qualifications, in regards to its members, and the ORC requirements. I have been in talks with Mr. Petticord over the past year in regards to some of this, and I think it's time to, how do you say it? It's time to bottom line it. Okay? I know I didn't tell you about this yet, but, so I'm just moving to table it.
Second?
any further discussion? Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 14, I gave you the correct resolution, but it should also include Keep Lorain County Beautiful on here as
Are
the
we on
president.
15, you mean?
Number 15, so
Okay.
appoint the president and/or alternate to the Data Processing Board, Board of Revisions, Safety Council, Health Department Board, Solid Waste Policy Committee, and Keep Lorain County Beautiful. And the president at that time can choose his alternates as well.
Do I need to report those alternates back to the clerk?
It would be nice, but you have to send a letter to those specific, like Data Processing Board, Board of Revisions, yes.
I move to appoint the president to all these boards.
Mr. President,
Yes.
if it would ease your schedule, as you are going to be very busy, I do attend every Keep Lorain County Beautiful meeting, so if you would like me to do that in your stead, I would do so.
Okay, I accept that offer.
Okay. So I will put
I got a motion.
Commissioner Hung.
Did we second that?
No,
1 second.
Oh, I apologize, and I
That's okay.
discussed before I seconded.
did.
Second. I guess,
we have a motion and a second
So-
to appoint the president to the following boards except Keep Lorain County Beautiful. Commissioner Hung?
I made that offer. Mr. President, did you want to further discuss any of the others?
I can see, that- I think the legal way is that the president is appointed as a member, but we have a gracious offer of a regular alternate. So I would vote that I would say the conversation should end with, it's an appointment of the president by position to all those boards. and then I'll get back to the commission with alternates.
And Michelle wants to be alternate on that one.
Michelle
I
wants to
I
keep
don't
that.
mind going if you're busy. I go anyway.
Very good.
So,
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
Mr. Riddell?
Aye.
Number 16, appoint Jonathan Reichel as Lorain County's APR Inspector for the year 2024. The total annual appropriation is $3,400, with mileage reimbursement of 67 cents per mile.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
17, establish compensation for law directors prosecuting violations of state law in municipal courts in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 1901.34C for the year 2024. Lorain, Elyria, and Oberlin at $7,500 each. North Ridgeville and Amherst, $5,625 each. Avon Lake, Avon, Sheffield Village, Sheffield Lake, $3,750 each. South Amherst, Wellington, $1,500 each. And Kipton, Rochester, Grafton, Vermillion, and LaGrange at $750 each.
move to approve,
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Hung?
yes,
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
18, adjust the salaries of various Elyria Municipal Court employees, which reflects the county's 2/5 share. Presiding Judge White at $950, effective retroactive to December 19, 2023. Administrative Judge Bennett at $973.08, effective retroactive to December 19th of 2023. Clerk Courts Eric Rothgary at $1,979.57, effective January 1st of 2024. Bailiff Michael Gebhardt at $1,060.98, effective retroactive to December 17th, 2023. Magistrate Richard Schwartz at $1,534.27, effective retroactive to December 17th of 2023. And Bailiff Jackie Vaca at $1,060.98, effective retroactive to December 17th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
Under Solid Waste, number 19, amendment resolution 23-818, adopted November 17th of 2023, extending contract services to Willig Tire Recycling LLC of Galion, Ohio for scrap tire services to Lorain County Solid Waste Management District Collection Center from December 31st of 23 through December 31st of 24. The amendment is to reflect the correct account number, which is Solid Waste Commissioners Health Contractual Purchase Service Solid Waste.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
Number 20, amendment resolution 23-819, adopted November 17th of 2023, extending contract services with Green Wave Computer Recycling of Indianapolis, Indiana for electronic waste services for Lorain County Solid Waste Management District Collection Center from December 31st of 23 through December 31st of 24. The amendment is to reflect the correct account Solid Waste Commissioners, Health Contractual Purchase Services, Solid Waste.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
21, amendment resolution 23-822, adopted November 17th of 23, extending contract services with American Paint Recyclers of Van Wert, Ohio for latex paint services for Lorain County Solid Waste Management District Collection Center from December 31st of 23 through December 31st of 24. Amendment is to reflect the correct account, Solid Waste Commissioners Health Contractual Purchase Services, Solid Waste.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
yes,
Under Stormwater, adopt the second amendment to a miscellaneous engineering services agreement in the amount of $202,000 between Lorain County Stormwater Management District and K. McCartney and Associates, and this will be paid from the account professional services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, Bob?
Or is it Dan or Bob?
Don.
Bob? Dan?
done,
Don.
Could you explain what Katie McCartney will be doing for that contract?
Thank you, Commissioners. K.E. McCartney will be doing additional projects where they'll be doing engineering plan preparation so that we're able to go out to bid. These include with a partner community in Rochester Village, where we'll be doing some camera work as an investigation as well as design, so that they can use their ARPA money along with some of the stormwater fee that they had recently enacted and collected last year for the first time to begin to make improvements there. accelerating our ability to get projects out with community grants as well as our ARPA funds that were set aside for projects as well. So we'll have 3 sources of funds to pay for design, investigation, and then helping us get to bid on a variety of projects across the county stormwater district members.
Well, this is, one of our larger, professional services expenditures. Is there a schedule of exactly what projects they're gonna do for $202,000?
Yes, I can probably, there's 7 projects within that, and they're all line item specific. They include hag halter, ditch survey and design in Elyria Township. And,
As long as it's just not, here's 202,000, answer the phone when we call.
oh no, they wouldn't like that, and I certainly wouldn't.
This is like in a Second Amendment, so
Correct. As we continue to go, we've added more projects. We've also, again, brought in additional engineering firms
okay.
to continue to pick up the amount of work that we've got going through the district.
Thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
Anything further? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Children's Services, 23, authorize various personnel in Lorain County Children's Services Department to utilize the agency's MasterCard for the year 2024, not to exceed 2,500 in accordance with the ORC and their permissible policy.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Engineer, 24, instruct the clerk to advertise for bids for various Lorain County Engineer Highway Department materials. Notice will be in the Chronicle on January 26th and February 2nd, and open at 2 p.m. on February 13th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Now it's Bob's turn. These materials and so forth, do we generally, when we put these out to bid like this, do they come in under the state bid pricing?
We don't bid this through the state bid, we bid this locally. It would be an advertise just for the materials we use.
Is that, yeah, but have you looked at it, is that advantageous to using the state's pre-bid list?
We've never looked into those using the state bid, we've always bid that locally, we could take a look at it.
Okay. I would like to think that we can do that. We want to buy local, that certainly helps, but when you go out to bid, it could be somebody from Columbus bidding the materials anyway. The state takes the time to pre-negotiate pricing on a myriad of items. And we need to make sure we're buying as good as or better than we could through the state process.
Usually on these, they always bid local, because part of their contracts, they have to deliver it, so it generally is always gonna be local, suppliers.
Good point. Thank you.
Anything further? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
25, approve and process an invoice in the amount of $36,757.69 from the City of Vermillion for the portion of the Vermillion Road resurfacing project outside of the city's corporate limits within Brownhill Township. August the 21, the engineer was notified by the City of Vermillion that they had received federal highway funding for the repair and resurfacing of Vermillion Road from the city's southerly corporation limit to approximately 1,700 feet north, and this will be paid from the MVGT engineer project account.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Under the Sheriff, 26, receive and file the annual report of Lorain County Sheriff on fees, dues, and unpaid for more than 1 year prior to January 1st of 24 in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code Section 325.31 are $3,704,432.24.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Casey, this is unpaid dues that have been, or fines and court costs and stuff that's been assessed. What is that? 3 million is a big number.
I'll be honest, I don't have
Lieutenant,
any information on this
Bill
comes directly from
Davis
the
is
sheriff,
here.
so.
Mr. Levitto's here too.
Yeah, but
We have
Davis does
Lieutenant
it.
Davis?
Mhm.
You're drafted into service.
William Davis from the Sheriff's Civil Office. The 3 million that you're seeing there is for everything from the year 2000, which when you break it down, is about 180,000, excuse me, per year for that there. What we do is anything that's received, because we can't bill, we have to include it in our cost. We return it to the clerk from which it originated. Then they take the, excuse me, then they take and they collect the money, they pay us. You know, it's ongoing. The only way you can change that is through legislation, because everything is governed by the ORC.
Okay.
So these,
These funds, the funds are actually for the entities besides the sheriff, or these are due the sheriff if they all get collected?
These are due the sheriff. And what we do is when we return it to the clerk collects that money, then they pay us. Then we take the money, and each month we turn it over to the general fund according to 31116, you know, for the year. So anything that we generate and we collect gets turned back over to the general fund.
Very good, thank you.
is there a statute of limitations on these when do they ever expire, since this is 23 years worth?
Not that I'm aware of for the
Okay.
ORC, because everything is governed by that.
Uh-huh.
You know, what it does say is that when a new sheriff is elected, it's reset to zero. It doesn't wipe it out. We still collect the money if it's sent to us.
Uh-huh.
It's just not reported. You know, this is reported, we only have to report in the current sheriff's tenure. So if it's just 400,000, it doesn't look bad, but it's just part of the process for, you know, the judicial system of processing documents, putting them out there, getting them back, doing all the paperwork, things like that.
Oh, okay, so this is basically people that with fines and all that stuff that,
It's our cost. It's the sheriff's civil cost for us going out and processing these documents.
okay.
You know, from what we're allowed to collect per the ORC, per document, mileage, you know, different types of things there. Then once we're done, we put our costs, we return it to the clerk collects the money, and then when they get it, they pay it to us. Now, obviously, the criminal cases account for the majority of them, because, you know, they're in prison, they don't pay or whatever, they probably, you know, are very difficult to do. I know the clerk's office does a good job of collecting whatever they can, you know, in a difficult process.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the county clerk of courts?
Correct. Or whatever court it originated from. If it's a different county in Ohio, then it goes to them. Wherever the originating source is, that's where it goes back to, and it's a process in Ohio and everywhere.
I
where
think it's
where
the
it goes to
clerk in the
clerks.
court where their sentence is handed down, correct?
Yes.
So it could be a municipal court here, it could be Claremont
Anywhere,
County,
any of the
wherever you're
88
sent from.
counties it could have come from.
Yeah, wherever you're sent.
And then once we do it, we return it to them. Once they get paid, they pay us.
But the debt's still owed, it just, if you have a new sheriff, it just goes to zero and you start.
It resets to zero.
For the
because you're
reporting
only-
aspect,
You're only
okay.
required to report upon that person's tenure.
Okay, that's interesting,
So-
yeah.
If they're only in office a year and your debt is 150,000, that's all that will be reported on. But if we do get money, it's still applied to whatever is out there.
Right, okay. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing.
So in other words, though, for the county to realize this money through the sheriff reimbursement, these various clerk of courts have to do their collection.
Yes.
Appreciate you coming out.
Okay, no problem.
Is there anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Dow?
Aye.
27, enter in a medical services agreement with Dr. Richard Kelser, MD, Rocky River, to provide certain medical services to inmates effective January 1st of 24 through December 31st of 24. Agreement consists of 3 consecutive one-year agreements to be mutually agreed upon, the first of which shall be compensated $60,000 annually and ensures compliance with the minimum standards for jails in Ohio and compliance with the National Commission on Correctional Health Care and paid from the professional services account.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
County Administrators update.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm excited to start 2024 with you. So, a brief update. When we left in December, you were kind enough to hire our project architect for the jail. So just want to report back that we did have our first programming meeting with our architect last week at the jail. We had quite a few participants, a couple of corrections officers and such, that sat down with the architect and listened to the architect detail how we're going to go through programming. I do believe we have a meeting scheduled for next week, so the process is underway, and we look forward to moving that forward quickly. Also, another thing that the board had started in 2023 and will continue in 2024 is the space study for the Jobs and Family Services building. We did have our kickoff meeting, and our consultant Desmond will be meeting with the directors and also the supervisors at JFS to gather additional information on that project. And also today, we have our EMA director, Dave Freeman. I always get him confused with Dave Greenspan. And a new EMA employee. I wish to turn it over to Dave.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Commissioners. Roger, if you could please stand. I'd like to introduce my new Emergency Operations Manager, Roger Lee. He started with us on January 3rd. Roger is a Lorain resident, Midview High School graduate, also graduated from the University of Toledo with a Master's of Public Administration. He served in the U.S. Army on active duty as a captain, where he was the Chemical, Biological, Radiation, and Nuclear Officer, and also the Hazardous and Emergency Response Officer. He has numerous FEMA certifications, to include the Hazmat Technician level, and he's going to be a great asset to our office, and I just wanted to introduce him to you and welcome him.
Welcome, Roger.
Welcome.
And to finalize the report, we continue to meet, the administration continues to meet with Raf Tellis, AECom, and all of our stakeholders within the 6119. Most recently, we met with Metro Parks this last Friday, as well as the Lakeshore Railway, to gain their support. It appears as though, not appears, that they're very excited about the project and helping us out, helping the county work through the process. So we're excited that project continues to move at light speed, as we're still looking at, in March, submitting to the court system to get 6119 established, to go through that process, so that we can help Lorain County grow systematically and rather than politically through the process, and help us all grow and prosper with the opportunities that are out there in the state of Ohio and for Lorain County. Switching to the 911, we continue to work with Elyria. We've tested all of the radios, and actually with the exchange of the mayor, the new mayor coming in, we look forward to, I know that Dan Petticourt is working with Pianowski with regards to the agreement with the city of Elyria and the county to allow for that service to get hooked up. I'm looking forward to getting that paperwork processed, as well as getting the memorandum of understanding from the city of Avon for the usage of the actual licenses that they actually gave to CCI, but based on our thought process on it, Avon is in control of those licenses. They gave it to CCI, but quite honestly, Avon needs to let the county know, and rather than CCI tell us, the county should get that from Avon. Avon then will give it to CCI. We'll get another memorandum of understanding from CCI to get that process started. So that's the way we're looking at it from the administrative side. Not to make it difficult, we just want all the players to know what's going on.
We're going to have a problem with the prosecutors working with the new safety service director in Elyria.
Yes, it will. We have had for 10 years, and I assume that will continue.
Quite honestly, Karen and I had a conversation with Mayor Brubaker and Pianowski, and actually Don Calvert, and it went very well, and they're looking forward to getting the document, which I think I've got now. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, I talked to Chris Saturday. He's looking over what we sent him. Kevin and Chris are obviously playing catch-up since they've been involved for a hot minute so far. I anticipate that he and I will meet with the law director sometime this week, and I don't honestly anticipate any issues on the Elyria side. I don't want to get into it here. There's some muddy waters on the Avon/CCI side having to do with the FCC licenses that I really, honestly, bluntly didn't expect, but I'm constantly surprised by this process. But we'll work through them and we'll get them done.
That completes my report, and I look forward to 2024 to be as successful or more successful than 2023.
Thank you.
Transportation Improvement District.
Clerk.
Today at 11:30, we'll have our Transportation Improvement District, and which should take about 5 minutes because we're just electing our officers. So Thursday, January 18th at 10 a.m. will be the Land Bank meeting. Tuesday, January 24th at 9 a.m. Stormwater Management District. Tuesday, January 24th at 11 Investment Advisory. Board correspondence.
Okay, Mr.
Move to
President.
waive the reading of the board correspondence.
A second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Mr. Hung.
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Is there any new business?
Yes.
Yes. The other commissioners may have something, but new to the topic, we've received a myriad of phone calls and emails concerning the new septic tank fee for Lorain County. Having done some long-distance homework and not completely done with my due diligence yet, but it appears to be a process that was set up by the legislature in 2015. As it was being unrolled, we ran into COVID, and it took a hiatus at that point, and is now, under Director Adams, is now resurfaced. And I'd like to make two things clear. First of all, there is a commissioner, I guess it's going to be me for 2024, who will sit on the health board, and I will hope to have a better understanding of the activities of the health board as that process unfolds. But this is, the health board has the total control of this. The commissioners have one seat on the board. But this is funded by independent tax levy. It has an independent board. I'm researching to see who the makeup of that board is. And unfortunately, we have been guilty at the commissioners for some of the same types of things, but the communication and the exposure and the transparency for the rollout of the $120 was not what we would all like it to be. But I'd like to say that, as per my homework so far, this is a good thing. It's something that has to be done, and I applaud Director Adams for not kicking the can down the road any further and starting the process. However, there is some feeling out there that this is a commissioner activity and that we have control over this. And that control is given to the board when the voters elect to give the board their revenue stream. So there's an advisory board for the health department, and those people are on the website. We encourage you to sit out and get out that list and contact people with your situation. But I, for one, as a commissioner, I live in a township. I got my letter when I got home from vacation, and I believe that going back some years ago, the septic tanks were not being adequately inspected. It led to some findings by the EPA which were harmful to Lorain County and the residents. And this is an effort to get all the septic systems operational so that we're not doing improper discharge into the ditches, which leads to the creeks, which leads to the rivers, which leads to the lake. So a bit of clarification. There was an article in the local paper over the holiday break, but this is going to continue to be an item of conversation simply because it caught most people by surprise. But it's $120, and my understanding is the director and the board intend this to be 3 years. This will be the funding up front, to fund the inspection of all the septic tanks, of which I've heard one estimate of 10,000, I heard another one of 20,000, but to take all the septic systems and move them into either functional or dysfunctional, right now they are unknown. And there's been no inspection process ever. So this system has been implemented for people in the last few years that had new installations, and now they're stepping up to get ready to do this for existing installations. Any other questions?
Nope.
Any other new business?
Can and I may have misheard you, I don't believe this board appoints anybody to the health board,
He did
Just the
today.
president.
It says,
It's just the president,
just the president. yeah.
correct, and or alternate,
But
but
the-
yes, it's just county commissioner.
But the majority of the board is appointed by the cities and the townships and the
Correct.
supervisors. Yeah.
correct. Yeah. Don't take away the appointment, I just got it 20 minutes ago. So, and I'm hoping that there'll be some kind of process for folks who get their systems checked annually, that, you know, maybe they could, the fee can be waived if they can demonstrate the, you know, that they have been inspected and they are in good standing, so. That was the only thing I wanted to raise, because the bill is out there, soon to be followed by the property tax bills, so, you know, trying to get ahead of the phone calls.
I don't have any public comments up, so.
Oh, guess we're done.
And make
Executive
a
session.
motion to go into executive session for personnel matters,
Personnel and board appointments.
personnel and board appointments.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
Can I amend to say the hiring, compensation, potential termination or discipline of employees or in board appointments? Correct? That's the statutory language. we use it.
Can you give me something with that on it?
Just go, refer back to number 11 this week, but it'll be number 8 next week.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Yeah, I read well, I read better than I remember.
Commissioner Riddell,
All right,
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
You guys want to take this in there with you?
Yeah.
half an hour maybe? What do you think? Okay,
I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll meet you guys in there.
okay.
Did they say executive session?
Yeah.
I think the newspaper article did a good job,
I didn't even look at it, honestly.
but the problem is the Done.
Okay. What's the correct statement for this now? The commissioners returned from executive session,
Sounds
Commissioners have
good to
reconvened
me.
from executive session.
Yeah.
Yep.
and we need to take a vote on the personnel summary sheet. Okay, do we want to show the commercial?
Well, no, it's,
We got some handwritten parts to it.
yeah, we're gonna clean it up for
We're
everybody.
gonna clean it up, okay. I vote to accept the personnel summary sheet as amended.
Second,
Discussion.
also inside the personnel summary sheet is a lot of board appointments. Probably about, what, 3 or 4 pages? So, we're gonna make sure it gets cleaned up for the media. Karen's gonna do that for us after the meeting today, and, with Teresa's help. And I guess that's it for discussion, so.
Okay. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye,
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
and happy birthday!
Well, thank you.
There we go.
Happy birthday, Teresa.
Thank you. Are we adjourned?
We are adjourned.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.